Welcome to the Daily Dose. My name is Robert here with Susan, the OG of the Daily Dose. We're talking some stuff today that I think has you in kind of OG mode. Why improv matters to you, my understanding. You sent me a little text on that and said, you know what, I do better dosing about this. So that's
Yeah,
what we're here for, my dear. Go ahead.
I love to write, and I really tried to write this down. It needs to be spoken. Uh, so this is the story of me growing up as a mother. Uh, the other day, I'm 72 years old. Daughter has a lot of challenges, as you may know, and I have a lifetime of being her mom, the same way that you have met me as a very shy improviser and a writer who just it was so hard for me to make scenes more dramatic, more dynamic. You would say there needs to be a death, there needs to be, a real tragedy. Susan, you need to knock it off with the happy endings and the rainbows and the butterflies. And that was so much me all through these years, my life, that I didn't see it. I didn't know how to be anything else. And so the other day, my daughter lost her ID. And she called me to tell me, crying. And I said, you are at the beginning of a huge change in your life. She just come out of the hospital, actually. And I said, you have so much going for you right now. And to resort to the patterns of your life by crying, telling me you've lost your ID and completely falling apart is not going to get you anywhere. What you need to do, Jess, is give yourself the grace to understand this is a difficult moment and collect yourself and keep it together. Don't allow this habit and this pattern of all of these years of turning to me and my big heart and who always makes things right for you. This is your time. You need to make your own, you have to be in charge of your own life and not you, you falling apart is not going to get you anywhere. And she had several series of problems in the same phone conversation. She pulled herself together, Robert, because she saw me pull myself together. And
There it is.
then my girlfriend, I told that story to my girlfriend this morning, and she said, where did you, I've never heard you, I was quoting myself. She said, I've never heard you talk like that. How did that happen?
Yeah,
And I said, it was the improv, Harriet, and the storytelling.
yeah.
She said, what? And I said, improv was hard for me. It didn't come naturally. I was very insecure and very shy about it. And Robert, I don't think I've ever told you this. But when I was a freshman in college, before I transferred to Earlham, I was in a different college and I took a class. I kind of had to take a class in drama. And the teacher asked us to become a melting ice cube. I just froze up. I thought it was dumb. I didn't want to do it. I was on
Sorry, I have to hold you. I was anticipating you saying froze, and you just killed me. Keep going.
yeah, not, yeah, froze. Robert, I'm sorry. I just dawned on me.
That was wonderful. Keep going.
Point. Okay. So, when I first met you and was so interested in the fact that you seemed to think improv could have an impact on some aspects of Parkinson's,
Mhm.
and I asked you to explain that, and you wouldn't, which we've discussed here on the dose a lot. Um,
Yeah.
I'm still laughing about froze. Sorry.
It's good. It's real. Yes, and it.
Like, um,
Chill out. You're fine.
oh, that one I got. Um, yeah. So because you wouldn't explain it to me and just kept saying, just come play with us. Just jump in the sandbox. Just come play with us. And I finally did. What I found was this fun, kind way to try something that was scary and intimidating, and I felt stupid and I felt shy and very insecure about it. But the space that was created in Yes and Exercise somehow facilitated me getting beyond that to try. And then we tried some more. And then, like you joke about developing biceps, you don't get to do one of these and get biceps. You have to do lots and lots and lots of these for months. And then you do. And then we started a writing program. And in the writing program, you had me take me and all of us get to a place in our story where happy ever after was not the option. It was not where the story was going to go. It was going to be boring. It was not going to be interesting, and I would lose my readers. And I thought, Robert, that's who I am, though. I am the butterflies and rainbows girl. And, you can't ask me not to be that person. And my story, I just kept seeing more and more of what you meant by that, and what the other people in our class, when they would write some, like, writing that somebody got shot and died. I mean, that was a huge thing when Karen did that. And I tried it. And my trying that in writing, getting feedback for that, allowed me, this is what I was telling my girlfriend this morning, it allowed me then to try more stuff in improv and be silly, be ugly, be big, be whatever didn't feel
You
like.
rude at the Thanksgiving table?
Yeah. What was I? I was obnoxious, and what else was I? I was just like, I had an attitude,
It
right?
was great. It was great.
It was so much fun, Robert. It was so much fun. And
And
that's
here you were honest with it. I know, you say it's not you, but that's the whole point, right? It is you. It's just a piece of you you're less comfortable with putting out there.
because I don't have the practice.
Right.
And so everything fed into that moment when I was talking to my daughter. I got my chops, I got stronger because of improv, because of the cinema therapy, because of writing. And then in real life, in the outside world, it came together and worked for my daughter. It was just such a great moment.
So when we talk about success stories, you just encapsulated a massive one right there, right? It's a recapturing of yourself and a gift to your daughter as well, right? There's a negative loop of a pattern based on a belief system of who you needed to be as a mom archetype. And until you disrupted that, she almost couldn't do anything else because it's what she had been trained into, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And not taking all responsibility off. She's an adult, but still, you know, so much to, Harriet's delight and perhaps shock and awe, um, there's more to Susan.
There's more to Susan. She said, wow, I didn't think that's what you were going to say. I thought you were going to tell me you went to therapy.
Yeah. Right. And in a way, you did.
I did. No
It's
kidding.
redefining what we mean by therapy, right?
Yeah.
And redefining the application of therapeutic tools.
Inside, to trust myself that way.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I could, and this is so beautiful. It's for me. I felt safe to do it.
Well, so you're mirroring what Brad said the other day too, because Brad said he had a great conversation with you after class, and we had
Yeah.
that dose, and he talked about how like you said, that's not me. He said that's not me either, but he felt safe and ready based on the environment to do this. It just came out. It wasn't like he came in class going, I'm going to try playing a jerk today. No, it just, it tried out. And I'll tell you what, I got a similar note from Wayne, as you'll see in his dose when you watch it later, about the importance, because I asked him about why he keeps coming to Yak's, events and what it means to him. And he talked about, once again, the environment, the facility, as it were, the space we create, that it feels safe to him to be his full self. For him, you may remember, and it was a big deal, we talked about it, the need to bring up justifiable anger. And he had some real battles with that, about dark stuff, about
Oh,
Parkinson.
it was heartbreaking. Yeah.
And he also brought up, like, he wrote something and shared it with his wife, and his wife was like, "Ooh, this might be too dark." And again, realizing, I love my wife. She loves me. Maybe she's not the person to bring this to, because I need to be safe with sharing my dark stuff. Right? Once again, empowering the room. I just spoke with Diane actually as well today. Hadn't spoken to her in a long time. And we were talking about that as well. The power of the room, the power of the safety of the space to be who you need to be, even if it's not who other people think you are or who you think you are. And as you know, my gentle and sometimes less gentle prodding to get you all to do more than be the commercial box version of yourself. There's more to you than that person.
Yes, and if one thinks that's who one is, it's hard
Yeah,
to,
that's well.
and
That's
I'm not trying to be that
no, no,
person.
no, 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 no. That's right. And again, to Wayne and Brad's point, this is where I was saying all this stuff is coming together nicely, and I hope people will continue to watch all of these. You'll see the patterns that I'm seeing in all of what you guys are saying. It's the unrecognized parts of yourself. Wayne had a lovely quote about it today. I won't do it justice, but his poetic nature. And it was just something to the degree of, he can't imagine how many people are walking around out there not knowing who they really are.
Oh my goodness.
These unspoken parts of self, which is what you just told
It
us about,
is. It
right?
is. Yeah. It
Like you
wasn't
said,
until I said that, had that conversation with my daughter and heard myself, heard the tone in my voice, heard myself saying, this is nothing more than a pattern, Jess. You don't need, the crying isn't going to solve the problem, just going to make it worse.
and to have it reflected by a dear and trusted friend in Harriet, right? To watch her eyes pop wide and to hear, go, whoa, what a neat affirmation, and what a beautiful suggestion on your part to bring this to the dose. By the way, I want to
Yeah.
compliment you on that. You're right. It's
Yes.
much better than text.
And improv and cinema therapy and real life and improv and cinema therapy and real
Well,
life. It's just,
we're running short on time, but I just want to say it's apropos, because I told you, I know in the conversation the other day, I think it was part of our board meeting. I don't know if you were there for it or not, but we have that opportunity right now with another person with Parkinson's, Christine Jaya down in Australia, who wants to do Yaks like stuff, maybe both improv and cinema therapy down there. She saw and loved Third Base. She's like, no offense, Robert, but your film was even better than you are in person. And I was like, oh, great. um, which is funny because the film incorporates me, doing a live bit. But anyway,
that's
um,
funny.
so but what her need was, similar to what you were saying there, is clinically, because she's done research and gotten a Michael J. Fox Foundation grant before, which is amazing, is to be able to, get this past the gatekeepers, so it doesn't look like it's just funny or just play, which we know are incorporate are very important elements, but the gatekeepers look at that and go, where's the clinical value in that? Right.
Wow, that's such an important, that's a great description of what, where things are stopping for us.
Absolutely. And this is why I had another great conversation today based on our good friend Maureen, who introduced me to another researcher named Sandia out at the University of Rochester. And she is very excited about this. She'll be joining our improv classes soon. And she really wants to do a lot more on the value of humor, laughter, and chronic illness for care partners in particular. And what I told her, similar to what I told Christine, now we have Bradley too, is I need more outside researchers who are ready to dip their pole in the water. We're doing all of this real time. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I come out of a Jam for Joy going, God, if I had recorded that and had a researcher doing clinical stuff on that, they would be seeing all these things we know. And so hopefully that's some of what will start happening. We'll get more of these voices in, outside voices in, who have a clinical eye and are lean in types. They're not doing this, right? They're already going, we know there's something there. You're onto something, and we're ready to do our part to share what we see. And therefore, I'm blinded from the process. Good. Just let me do what I do. You come back and tell me the truth. You think it's nothing? Fine. Tell me it's nothing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
totally open to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also pretty sure it's not nothing. And with that, my dear, we're out of time. What a wonderful dose. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
See you again soon.